Mike Langiel is the president of the Milwaukee Teachers Education Association. Mike, thank you so much for coming on, first of all. Let me start with that, because that's been in the news for the past few days. It's not the only incident, as you know. Do you condone that?
Well, you know, Governor Walker put this all in motion when he had his extreme measures and wanted to dictate to everyone rather than govern through consensus. So we're hopeful that the governor will put aside his confrontational politics and help us all move together in Wisconsin.
Right, but do you condone that?
Well, you know, one of the things is this, that this governor is not allowing people to get together and try to improve teaching and learning in our schools. We do that at the bargaining table, and we would like to continue to have a voice in improving schools. And one of the things that was very important to our members was to go to Madison to be able to affect the policies there. No one wanted to be off of work, but many of us knew we had to be in Madison to protect our students from this governor.
Respectfully, sir, I don't really hear an answer to my question. It sounds like your answer is yes, you do condone it, and you don't have any problem with these teachers getting fake sick notes. And I'm sorry to be pressing you on it, but you know, I think a lot of people can empathize with the teachers and their frustration, and yet they don't empathize with fraud.
Well, one of the things that's going to happen in every school district is that people are going to come together and decide what kind of schools we want to have. And that's
but you're
what
not
we should
answering
be
my
talking
question,
about.
Mike. Those are talking points. You know, you're off on vanilla, sort of plain Jane talking points. I mean, can you just speak to this point? Because I'm telling you, our viewers, they get upset when they see that. They think, a lot of them are on your side. A lot of them are union folks who say, yes, these unions are being railroaded, but they don't like fraud and they don't like lying.
Well, one of the things that everyone understands is that when we left work to go to Madison, to follow our conscience, and we did it to help education. Now, whatever happened there, I didn't see it, I don't know what it is, but one of the things that I understand is that a lot of people want to get us off the topic. So if you say I'm not answering the question, I think the question is the wrong one. The real question is, how are we going to work together in Wisconsin? By asking the right questions.
Well, respectfully, sir, I mean, you've said
teacher.
that, and I understand you want to make that point, but, you know, for better or for worse, I'm the anchor and you're the guest, so I'll come up with the questions and you can answer them or not. But my question to you is, should they be held responsible? Because you're the head of the union. You are the head of the union. And it's not the only incident of these teachers who are giving the rest of the teachers a bad name. It's one thing for your teachers to go out there and say, I'm going to take the bullet I got to take. You know, if I skip school and I'm held responsible for it, so be it. I stood up for what I believed in. That is one thing. It is another to go get a fake sick note, lie to your superintendent in a situation where parents have had to pay extra costs to cover daycare for their students or their kids who should be in school or otherwise scramble. It is quite another to do that second option. And I want to know, as the head of the teachers union there, whether that's something you are behind.
Well, I'll tell you what I am behind. I'm behind opposing this governor
so you're not
cutting
going to
$1 billion from education.
Our viewers can make up their own minds about where you stand on that. Let me ask you this. The Democratic senators in the state have now said that they're going to stay away indefinitely. We don't know when they're coming back, if ever, I guess, to vote on this bill. Your position on that, do you support that?
Well, we do support it. These senators are very heroic. The city of Milwaukee has 4 senators that have lived up to their conscience and want to have a government that works for all the people. And I think what we have to be fixed on is that this governor is trying to rule through confrontation. Everyone is willing to compromise. Everyone is willing to discuss. But I think the actions of the Assembly, the Senate, and the governor are an embarrassment to our state, and I applaud the actions of the Wisconsin senators who have left the state.
You know, you said in your first answer that you thought the governor that he wanted to dictate, you know, that he was behaving in a dictatorial manner. But his defenders have come out and said, well, you know, he's going through the legislative process. He's not doing this by edict. I understand the unions don't like it, but he's asking for a vote in the state assembly and the state senate, and then obviously he'll have to sign off on whatever they approve and send to him. How is that dictatorial? How is that not being, you know, taking advantage of the democratic process?
He's taking the rights away from hardworking educators who only want to have a voice at the table so our students can have a better chance of learning.
How is he taking their voice away? How is he taking their
conscience.
voice away? Because you guys can call, your lawmakers and say, Republican or Democrat, and say, please don't vote for this. You can call Governor Walker and say, please don't do this. He's not taking your voice away so much as he sees it differently.
We have a voice that we have at the table to improve education for our students. When we negotiated our contract, we want to fight for lower class sizes, art, music, and Phi Ed, librarians, guidance counselors. We do it through the collective bargaining process. This is how we fight for our students, and we're not going to surrender that right, regardless of how this governor thinks he can try to ram something through. It's extreme. The people of Wisconsin don't want it.
Mike, tell us how that's going to happen, because I don't think that people who aren't union understand that. If collective bargaining, because that's the thing you're really upset about, if that's taken away, okay, the senators come back, there's a vote, Governor Walker signs off on it, no more collective bargaining. What exactly is it that you lose that you are upset about?
We lose the ability to shape better education for our students, better teaching and learning conditions. In our last contract, we negotiated a new evaluation system and new professional development. We strive to have lower class sizes that benefit our students. That's what we do when we have a voice at the table.
How does that get decided if you don't get to negotiate over it? Who will decide?
We don't know who will decide, but the educators, we have a moral responsibility to our students to make sure that there are good learning conditions, and we do it through the bargaining process. We also have a moral responsibility to make sure that our students have budgets, and this governor is going to cut $1 billion from our schools, and we believe that's wrong. We will act on our conscience, and we will do the right thing. And that's what the debate should be about.
Listen, Mike, I appreciate you for coming on. Honestly, we appreciate having your perspective, and you're welcome back anytime. All the best to you.
Thank you. Thank you.